Oh, it's on mute.
Okay, boom. See? Look at that.
We over here just having a conversation without nobody listening.
Oh,
Okay,
goodness.
so thank you everybody for watching this week of
Off the
Off
record.
the Record. I was about to say top five. This week on Off the Record, I'll be interviewing um my brother Joshua Muhammad. Typically, he's asking the questions. This week, I am asking him some questions.
Yeah.
So, thank you all for tuning in. My first question is: was it like growing up in Islam?
Man, it was beautiful. It was great.
That's not what he asked the first time. That's not what he said when it was on mute.
It's amazing. It's very strict. Very rigid growing up in any religion, but in Islam it's very strict, and you got to just be, for somebody who's like a creative like me who likes to do plays and movies, it could be challenging because Christmas and Halloween, all the kind of holidays, you want to do that when you're younger because you see it on TV, and that could be a trial. But I see the benefit of knowing the knowledge yourself as a child, and you got to just struggle for balance. That's what I say.
How did you channel that energy? Because you mentioned it being a trial, being a creative with having certain, restrictions. How did you channel that creative energy?
Rebel, to be honest. Like you had to sneak and do stuff. You got to be like, I had to sneak and watch Home Alone and I guess like Elf and like all the Christmas movies on Halloween, because that's where I was getting my acting from, Disney. And I remember one time I was telling somebody I was watching some Disney movie and they were like, oh, we don't believe in, Disney and fairy tales. I was like, all right, that's it. So you got to just, it takes the time for you to understand that you can love God and still have an imagination.
Right. And so with what you're talking about, certain things being restricted or not celebrating certain things, do you feel like it was more rigid outside of your home, maybe in your place of worship, or inside of your home?
Outside of the home, you go to that's what I'm saying. I grew up and got some friends with some Catholics, and their Catholic school was strict. Like I just think it's religious. Religion is hard for adults, so as a child, it's definitely going to be a challenge. My parents, they did the best they could to try to be balanced, and they worked. I mean, they knew it probably since I was like 4 years old that I wasn't going for everything. So it's gonna be some toys. It's gonna be some movies and TV shows. So
yes, and shout out to our parents for being balanced. And I know from my personal experience, I feel like we were able to enjoy the beauty of Christmas without celebrating seeing the lights, and it wasn't like we couldn't watch Home Alone and certain things. We have some questions.
No, Brother Ernest saying screaming in the car.
Yes, Brother Ernest. We definitely used to have screaming contests in the car.
Ronald saying it was spooky, right? I guess
Brother Ronald said it was being spooky. Yes, some people, I can relate to that as well. Thank you, everyone, for watching and bearing with us, even though we had a sound issue, but we're up and we're live now.
That was Naima's with the sound issue.
So, okay, I'm going to go to my next question, and you kind of answered it, but I would like you to elaborate on that. What was it like growing up in the house with two national laborers as parents?
Next question. I mean, it was a trial. It was just it was intense, and I think that I thank God for music and movies and television shows to help you get an imagination, because when you grow up it's like having firefighters for parents, police officers, people who work in the community. You just think that your parents could not come home sometimes, and you don't understand that. And you don't think that the security was necessarily worth it as a child, because you're like, man, why y'all want to go get shot? That's how I look at it.
Right.
Well, we could just, play video games and just chill. So watch movies. That's why I looked at it. I don't see it as I didn't see the need to be so intense all the time, but that's what it is. That's what it was. We move forward.
Okay, thank you for answering that. And while we're on that topic, you always ask your guests, was there ever a time where there were death threats or you feared for your life? So I will ask you, did you ever fear for your life or fear for your parents' life, or feel like you were under attack or your family was under attack?
Absolutely. I felt when I was younger, I didn't feel it, but I was told of death threats constantly. That that's and once again, that's just me trying to explain that to my friends in Naperville, they would never understand that.
Never.
I grew up with gas mask and in the house, and it's almost like there's a show that my sister watches, the Kimmy Smith, where they're like Mormons, and they're like, you grew up like that, where you think the apocalypse is coming, the judgment is coming, and on this day, me and Mimi were supposed to run out the house and catch Naima Rashad out the window, and that's just not normal. That's just not a normal lifestyle. That's not, or Bird Box, if y'all seen Bird Box on Netflix, where you gotta like close your eyes and the bullets coming in here. That's just not a normal. For me, it wasn't the ideal childhood that you think you can, if you go to Subway with your friends, you might get kidnapped, or it's just
yeah, you definitely have to be super security minded, and it kind of a level of paranoia that you grow up with. But I see a balance of, as an adult, you can balance that out with, okay.
Yeah, that's Brother Orlando.
Brother Orlando, walaikum salam, Brother Orlando, Brother Ronald Muhammad. Josh, what's your favorite Christmas gift?
Thank you, Ronald.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. Naima, my sister Naima said, I celebrated with Grandma. I don't care about y'all. Yes, Naima, we know you love Christmas.
Wow, Satan. it is my Sister Khadijah.
Oh, Sister Khadijah family, thank you so much for watching. Okay, so my next question. It's really, I'm just going to expound upon that. You're talking about growing up so strict and all of that. Josh is trying to act like he was so deprived as a child. He used to oppress me as a child with that military mind and military games. People see Josh drilling and doing all of those things. He's always been that military person. He used to play a survival game. Can you tell us about
well, it's a survival game. Well, when you were at 8 years old and your parents tell you that they might die, you know what I'm saying? So you got to survive without them. We used to play a game where we would, spend the night and like, I guess in the basement and only eat this amount of food and do all, these are just weird games that young children should not play.
The Josh developed. And I was like, I just want to eat snacks. And he was like, no, one day you're not going to be able to have snacks. You get 2 cookies. You can't have all the cookies. I was like, this boy is crazy. But he's always had that mind. We got to be prepared. We got to be, he was like on some survivalist stuff. Our parents were not spooky. They did not make us do that. Josh used to come up with some stuff on his own. He's always been very creative. And I was his test subject when we were younger. Absolutely. But it was very fun.
Absolutely.
How has your upbringing shaped you?
There you go. Let me ask some questions. It made me be very serious, made me be very focused, and focused. It just made me see things very focused. Like upbringing is intense.
So discipline. Would you say your upbringing gave you the discipline that you have? Because I would describe you as a disciplined person.
Absolutely. Very hard on very hard discipline. Yeah, you got to grow up. It's not a whole bunch of funny games all the time. What are you gonna say?
Oh my God.
What are you gonna be saying?
So, what were some of your favorite childhood games?
Video games.
What specific?
Any fighting games. I love Mortal Kombat. I love Madden.
There we go with the military.
Mortal Kombat, Madden. Any fight. I love video games, and I like playing sports, bro. Sports was a big release for me. Football, basketball I liked, but I wasn't good at it. But football was more my thing, and karate. But video games to me, hide and go seek in the dark.
Yes, I love playing hide and go seek. What? Back to karate. Can you tell us about your training? Josh, he keeps trying to evade my questions. Like, what were those little common things used to be trying to hit me? Tell us about, Josh has weapon training. He does karate from a very young age. He doesn't publicize it.
Yeah, we don't talk about all that. But no, karate is cool. When I was in DC, we did karate, taekwondo. Then when I came to Chicago, it was Shogun-ryu with Shihan. Well, he's probably not he's probably like a grandmaster or something. Larry Tankston on Stony Island. He's a great fighter. I love going to his dojo. We used to play Foursquare, commas, and all the Ninja Turtle stuff. The size, the staff, that was cool. Then we went to When Worlds Collide, which was Sanukis. and that was cool. I learned how to roll out and put people on locks and all of that kind of stuff. So that was fun. And then
put people by people he means his siblings.
And then I came to Atlanta, and I was introduced to BKF and Kempo with Cjo, and Bone on Bone and all that good stuff. So that I like that.
Why don't you ever speak of your karate skills? You don't really
ever.
We
don't do that. Because we talk karate, then we don't wear our gis.
We don't wear our gi in public.
It's not about flexing. It's not about that. You know what I'm saying? It's about just being humble and building.
I love your humility. Your selective humility. I love that.
I'm working on it.
Okay, so Naima, your sister Naima has a question. Speaking of drill, how did drill help mold you into the man that you are?
That's a good question. Wow. Naima, why don't you ask me regular questions? Y'all ask me about drill and karate and stuff. God dang it.
Yeah, everybody knows everything else. We want to just,
drill taught me how to get over stage fright. So it helped me with my acting, because you get in front of the stage at drill, it's improv at its best. Because if you, especially if you do DI, you mess up with your voice, you going through puberty and whatever, and you scratch. It taught me how to teamwork. The people I drill with, I have love for them forever since we was little children. Drill is fun, man, and it's fun. It's intense. It's fun, and it teaches brotherhood. It's the same thing as football, same thing as karate, same thing as YMCA basketball. Shout out to the Young Guns. Same thing. Drill is something I think that every child should do, because it teaches them how to, be disciplined.
So discipline is a good thing.
To an extent, not at home. I ain't no drill at home now. I want fruit snacks when I want fruit snacks, and that's what it is.
Nobody made you drill at home.
No, I'm just saying. You got to say that to people who might make their children drill at home.
Oh yeah, definitely. Okay, so Sister Khadija Kareem, when would you say you became balanced and grew into yourself?
This is Khadija from Philadelphia. Oh yeah, she's always in the brothers' comments. Sister Khadija Kareem. Yeah, I know she is. That's my homie. When did I become what?
Balanced. When you grew into yourself.
Man, high school. It was if you didn't become balanced, you're gonna get picked on because you're gonna be a nerdy. You go to a high school in the suburbs, and everybody's acting, everybody's football, everybody's singing. Ain't no drilling, ain't no karate. You got to be regular. You got to learn how to survive in it. It's just like I don't know if y'all watch X-Men, but that's one of my favorite movies. If you're a mutant, if you will, and you're isolated, when you go into society, you got to learn how to put your claws up, and you still got it, but you got to learn how to function with around everybody else. So high school taught me how to do archery, swimming class. I mean, swimming, even though I could swim, but swimming in gym class, and I learned how to play baseball, which I was not good at. But I became more balanced, because then it was like everything wasn't about drill and fighting every day.
How do you think, this isn't one of my questions that I had written down, but since you mentioned it, how do you think parents who are in religion can do a better job with providing balance for their children? Because I know our parents, they kind of did things, they did balance, our mom in particular, because she was there more, providing balance and letting us swim and have fun and do things. How do you think parents can do a better job providing balance earlier on if their children are homeschooled or in a Muhammad University?
They just got to do it. You got to
do what?
You got to you got to go to the swim classes, sports, and all that social stuff matters, bro. Because a lot of people I went to school with who were social, they became. You can tell on Facebook that they live more of a balanced life. The people who didn't, they got locked in, and all they got to do is they don't know how to function outside of the four walls of religion, and that could be a trial, man, because nobody cares about if I drill or if I do karate and some of you outside. So you got to be able to. And children, man, it ain't about what you deprived of or what you. Most Islam is fun, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of stuff you can do.
Absolutely.
And the minister is a free black man, and you don't have to. Some people misrepresent what it is to the people. The minister is cool. He's fun. He's at basketball games, and he likes music and all that. So you can do it all, and everybody doesn't have to play the violin. You know what I'm saying? That's my biggest thing.
How long you been waiting to say that?
I've been waiting to say that for a long time. Like people, like everybody got to play the violin. Like Josh should play the violin. Like you don't got just because somebody else play the violin, you don't got to play the violin. You can do music and be regular and still love God.
Awesome. Okay, Brother Ronald, is this Brother Ronald who hates women?
No. That's Brother Ronald, the strong upper wappy monster 32 out there holding it down in Arizona.
I was playing. Shout out to Brother Ronald from Top 5. Yes. Who were your role models inside and outside the nation growing up, Brother Ronald?
Not Fabulous. Let me say that, Ronald. Ronald, he's a big Fabulous fan. Inside the nation, of course, the minister, the people who did security for him, the F team and the E team, captains, captains and the E team. Outside, Kanye West, Eminem. Kanye West and Eminem was the main two people who I like the most.
What is it about them that resonates with you?
I don't care attitude. The Tupac attitude, if you will.
Yeah. Josh has always had that attitude. Got him in trouble a lot growing up. But I really admire that about you because you never held your tongue. You always speak truth to power, whether it was your parents, your teachers. I used to be like, this boy is crazy. He's gonna get in trouble. But you've always been that person who, if you feel like something is unjust, you're gonna speak up about it. Even if it's not happening to you, you would speak up for us, anybody. You just speak up for people. So thank you for that. And Orlando Gardner says, I admire the sibling bonding. Thank you so much.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching.
Brother Ronald says, gangsters move in silence. Because you said, bye, Joshua. Thank you, because you were picking on her. Brother Charles Muhammad said, let me guess, that's your biological sister. She sounds and looks just like you. Yes.
That's what Charles Muhammad said. Hey, Bro Charles always checking in. We love you, Bro Charles.
Yes, this is my brother. Brother Ronald said, Islam is fun. Please elaborate.
Oh, Brother Ronald, what I mean is when you love God, I'll use Michael Jackson as an example. Michael Jackson is a Jehovah's Witness, and if the Jehovah's Witnesses I met, they weren't necessarily like Michael Jackson. They seemed to be more, but he showed me another side of Jehovah's Witnesses, him and Janet Jackson. And to me, that's what I want to think about. It's like with Islam, is Muhammad Ali was a Muslim, but he wasn't the stereotype of peace, my brother, with the bean pie and all that. But Muhammad Ali was one of the coolest icons of all time. So you can be, have knowledge of yourself and still be cool. And that's why I'm saying, like, Islam is fun because it can free you. It's all about how you wear it. I'd rather be like Muhammad Ali than somebody who seems oppressed. Like, no.
Right. Okay, well, I've been asking a lot of questions from the audience. A lot of my questions you answered through our conversation and just our natural dialogue. But I had a question about Muhammad University, and you kind of answered it. So I'll just leave that alone. Can you share your earliest memory of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan?
Yeah.
Growing up in the nation, I'm sure that's a hard question to think.
But the minister, okay, no, here we go. I went to Chicago, and one time the minister used to shake everybody's hand when he was finished speaking, and I wanted to see the minister. I guess I got the spirit inspired, and all the children used to sit on the balcony, and they would be strict on us about that. So I said, that's it. I'm breaking free. So we went downstairs, and when the minister's shaking all the first timers' hands, I just walked down to shake his hand, and when he saw me, he started laughing. You know what I'm saying? And of course, I looked at Dad like, yeah, I'm getting in trouble. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I wanted to shake the minister's hand.
Got chucked out.
Yeah, I wanted to shake the minister's hand though. So he was cool. He always, the minister ain't never.
How old were you?
I don't know. I was little.
Josh, you gotta be more smooth than that. I used to go outside and just wait for the motorcade to greet the minister outside. Daddy wasn't outside.
I wanted to shake the minister's hand, and
you wanted to come down the aisle.
I wanted to come down the aisle. Yeah, I was real little though, but I just remember not.
Were you? We lived in Chicago.
Yeah, we lived in Chicago.
You were at MUI.
Yeah, MUI. Yeah.
School age.
Yeah, and I just remember I don't have a bad experience with the minister, of him yelling at me or judging me or ever.
Beautiful.
It's always been happy, all the time.
What's some of the best advice that you've gotten from the minister? You've been blessed to be around him in private and public. Sweat in your heart.
The best advice I got from him is be yourself. Constantly be yourself, and he's always the way. That's what I'm saying. The way people see everybody. We all see the minister different, so I can't say what's right or what's wrong. But how I see the minister is just a loving person, you know, who represents God in the best manner. And every time I see him, it's all love. It's always a hug. It's always a smile. It's always since I was little. It's always been like that. So when I see people show him on Facebook, and it's always like, I'm like, I'm not saying you don't go there, but on a normal day, I ain't never seen that. I only see that when I'm holding posts from on stage. But off the record, the nicest person I've ever met.
So is there any advice, you know, not to pry too deep, but you know, that the minister may have shared with you at any point in your life that you could share that might inspire?
Well, one time he told me, he asked about my relationship as far as with a woman, and he said, "Are you married?" I was like, "Oh no, sir." And he was like, "Take your time." And I've been following his advice ever since.
Obviously, obviously, I don't think you meant take that much time.
I've been following his advice ever since then. You know, I hear no base, so you know, I'm just cool with. You know,
don't put your mess.
I'm just saying. He told me. I mean, he asked me about my personal, you know, who I was talking to at the time, and I was just like, "Please let me say." You know what I'm saying?
I never knew that.
Yeah, he said, "Take your time." And, yeah, he said, "Take your time," and I was just like, "Yes, sir."
Okay, what is your fondest childhood memory?
My fondest childhood memory. Oh, I'll say this because I just had Omari on the show. I say my fondest childhood memories us doing the Temptations at the talent show.
Okay, for those people who aren't familiar.
Oh, we had like a lip singing like performance. We was all the Temptations, and it was all of us, and man, yeah, that was a good time.
What was so fun about it?
We was performing. Anytime I'm on stage, I feel good, so we was we got to imitate the movie and do all the moves and all that kind of stuff, so that was cool.
Awesome. Okay, let me go to the audience. The audience has some questions. Sister Tracy says, Assalamu alaikum. I'm happy to see someone interviewing you now. Yes, Josh is in a hot seat today.
Thank you, Sister Tracy.
Naima says, nah, let's talk about MUI. How was your experience at MUI, and are there any stories?
MUI was probably the most intense time I've ever had in my childhood. I see my other friends who went to MUI, they don't seem to have the same experience I had. So I mean, some people enjoyed it. For me, it was a trial. I love Sister Shelby. I love Sister Michelle. I grew to love Brother Abdul, and Sister Gloria, Sister Audra, Sister Brian. You know what I'm saying? Some of the teachers, it wasn't so much, but I didn't like getting beat. So that's like, I'm against that. So I don't believe that other people should beat your children. So MUI, it was like strict, and it was a lot of positivity because you see the minister, you know knowledge yourself, all that. But you beat me, it ain't never gonna be sweet. I don't agree with that at all. So that was a challenge. And I just saw one of the brothers the other day on Facebook, and I was just like, because the dean, I just don't believe in it. But I some of my friends from Dion to Saladin, I'm still friends with Facebook. Tamar, people you grew up, you grew a bond with people that's for life because of MUI. But I don't like getting beat, so I was just pro public school at the time, So I didn't, I don't like getting. MUI was extreme for me, but it's a new MUI now, so I don't think they getting beat every day, so I don't know.
Right. Okay. So speaking of, when did you go to public school? How long were you at MUI?
To my sophomore year in high school.
From what grade?
I don't know. It seemed like forever, so whatever.
Like second grade.
Probably. Yeah, like second grade.
So from second grade to high school, and then you transferred to a public school. And what was that transition like for you?
It was very difficult, but it was fun because I got to interact. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if they're still separate, but no. I was public school is just like, I know everybody's like public school the devil, and I'm not saying they don't try to stick needles in your brain and they try to kill. My public school wasn't necessarily like that. It was just fun for me.
Yeah. And see, you already had knowledge of self at that point. You knew who you were, so it was a good time.
Neighborhood North was fun, and you got to be around opposite sex, and it was just.
So you wanted to be fast.
No. I'm just saying. It's just I'm like, man, like, all right, everything's not. You know what I'm saying? Everything's like you going to hell for looking at the girls, and I don't like that. I didn't.
Well, Lakers Salam, Damon from Brunswick.
Oh, that's Damon from Brunswick.
Drew Bailey says, Assalamu alaikum. How long did it take you to adapt to Atlanta? Because you're definitely a native.
Oh man, thank you, Drew. As soon as I came down here, that's once I started going to Greenbrier, eating lemon pepper wings and mild sauce. We didn't have that in Chicago. We didn't. That wasn't a thing in Chicago. I came down to Atlanta like instantly. Atlanta welcomed me in, and it was the music. It was Greenbrier. It was the culture of everything about Atlanta. It was easy. It was like as soon as I came down here, I felt like Tupac when he he's from New York, but when he moved to LA, you would never know because he just death row. It just is what it is. That's how I felt when I came to Atlanta. It was like Atlanta pride, Atlanta, you know.
Awesome. Name is said lemon pepper wings. Oh God. Okay, so Rhonda from Chicago, maybe I said, do you think as a person that had well-known parents in the nation, the expectations of you were different than the rest of the children?
To some people, yes, but I got beat with Kyrell used to get beat a lot. Aaron Gang, like these people, I don't know where they at in life, but shit, it wasn't no. I mean, some Brother Abdul, we atoned about that because me and Brother Abdul, he used to say, "You should be better. You shouldn't do this. You shouldn't." It was more him, but everybody was getting beat from a brother side. I'm saying like I was getting hit. Shameen and Saladin got beat together. We all to answer your question, no, yes for Brother Abdul because he would drive that in my head like you can't be out here running around or playing basketball. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Eating hot Cheetos. Like you shouldn't get beat for eating hot Cheetos or something like that. Like, I just don't believe in that. Like so I eat hot Cheetos to this day. There's nothing you can do about it. Nobody's gonna beat me about it.
Okay, well that speaks to MUI. The expectations you think were some depending on who it was, the expectation might have been different. But what about just in general growing up, being on the property as we used to call it? Like
I mean, no. I mean, when you're younger you think that's the case, but then when I look back at it, a lot of people was getting beat. A lot of people I remember getting lined up and getting hit with a lot of people. And I wasn't even I didn't even get beat the most.
Okay.
It was people older than me who my God. I saw some people get beat before that was in front of the whole school. I mean I used to get beat in front of my class, but I saw people get in front of the whole school before, so that's just the
So if you could say anything to people who have influence or directors at MUI or any kind of private school, what would your advice be for somebody who went through it? What would you like to see done?
Treat people like you treat your children.
No,
I know, but I'm saying, but the majority of people I saw, their children wasn't getting beat like that.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? So it was like, nah, the people, it was a lot of people whose children was not going to MUI, not getting beat, and their children went off and did what they did. But hell nah, I wouldn't beat mine. I wouldn't beat Deion's a dad, Omar's a dad. People I know went to school. I'm not beating their kids, bro.
Right. Okay, so no to corporal punishment.
Hell no.
Is that the main thing?
Hell yeah, ain't no beating my kids, bro. You guys know. Okay. And I'm saying I'm 5'6". The deans at MUI, Brother Elbert for sure. That dude had to be 6'1" with the Omega paddle. You know what I'm saying? No, sir. You too big to be. No.
Yeah, sounds enigmatic. Very lots of engram.
Yeah. I'm working on it.
Brother, Ronald says, LOL, sounds like MUI was all beaten, right? Khadijah said beef for eating hot Cheetos with the surprise face emoji.
Yeah.
Okay. So I haven't really asked many questions because the audience is asking them, and like I said, it's just happening naturally in conversation. So this mom came up with this question. She wants to know, what is your first drill memory ever?
Watching Brother Vertis drill at the drill conversation.
That was your first drill.
Yeah,
do you know what year that was?
No, I don't remember.
You know what routine?
I know. I just remember looking at Brother Vertis and being like, he was a rapper, and I wanted to be a rapper. I was like, oh, that's cool. He made it. I never liked the movie Menace to Society. I like the movie, but I never liked how Sharif was portrayed in Menace to Society. I never liked how the dude off A Different World, the jersey I got on A Different World, when they always showed a Muslim's name. I hated that. Peace, my brother. And even though some people really talk like that, the FOI I was around, they was cool. And when I saw Brother Vertis, he was like that. But then when I was younger, Brother Daryl from DC, taught me how to drill. So I remember that. But I was little, so I don't, it didn't really resonate. It was when I went to Chicago and I saw Brother Vertis drill, I was like, okay, that's what I'm gonna do.
I didn't know Brother Daryl. My father, my dad, tell the truth.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely,
I never
absolutely.
did it.
Oh yeah, yeah. And you know, it's in DC. That was the court, and he wasn't, he wasn't. I don't think he beat me. So it was like it wasn't like a forced on. It was like, oh, this is what we want to do. And when I drilled the MUI with Linnell, uh, Mandrell.
A positive MUI memory.
Yeah, yeah, so
okay.
Linnell, Mandrell, Saladine's older brother, Marshawn. These people, they had the girl, they was cool. Mm-hmm. Curtis, Reginald, Sadruddin, Muhammad. They was popular. They had, you know what I'm saying, they was, you know, woo woo, and they could drill. So that was cool. So they was like, all right, you can drill and be cool.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna go to some questions and comments from the audience if you don't mind. Drew said MUI bringing out all the ingredients. Drew becoming better. Says here we go. Drill. My little brother Joshua made me better. Gardening.
That brother was a great guy.
Praise be to Allah.
And a nice human being.
Awesome. And while we're on it, you mentioned Brother Vertis and Brother Garthian in the comments. What is it about you that it's a beautiful quality that you have, that if you admire somebody, you tell them. You give people their roses while they're still living. You know, you've had both of them on the show, I believe. And what is it about you that makes you big up everybody? Your big brothers, your big sisters, everybody who you admire. You let them know, and then you show them love. I admire that about you. What makes you do that?
I don't know, to be honest. I just think that's how it's supposed to go.
You're just a humble servant.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just think that's how it's supposed to, like, you never know. The other day, somebody texted me and he said, "Oh, you know, you don't even hit me up no more." And I'm like, "Man, bro, I'm so inspired by you. You know, I just be staying out the way, but I wanted to let him know, even though we the same age, like, no, you inspired me. Like, people, Drew, who's watching, going to playing football at Louisville, which was one of my dreams. Not Louisville, I wanted to play at Notre Dame, but playing football at Louisville, I'm inspired by you." So just tell people, like, nah, man, inspiration is. I'm inspired. I see the God in everybody, bro. In everybody, I can see it. There's not a situation where I can't somehow find positivity in it and see the. You know, I think you gotta just tell people.
That's beautiful. Okay, we're gonna go back to the comments. Brother Ronald said they had the girls dry snitching. Becoming better says, I will never forget those young from the window to window saying, "There he is."
Oh, talking about him?
I believe it's about you, for Drew.
Oh, praise be to him.
Oh, we'll talk about him? Oh, you just so
humble. It's not about that. I love Brother Garthian and his wife.
Praise be to Allah. So you're such a complex person. Nobody could really put you in a box. Mm-hmm. And if anybody is friends with you on social media, they'll see. I mean, you post. One day it's a meme. One day it might be a tribute to a pioneer. One day it's music. And growing up with you and just knowing you my entire life, that's who you really are. Like you just. Some people might see just super random, but it's really not. You are the definition to me of a creative. Mm-hmm. And so some people might be able to relate to that in private, but they don't show that side to everyone. Mm-hmm. So what makes you just be so authentic out loud in public, just being you, no matter what, not caring what people might think about, you know, the women that you post, the lyrics that you post, you know, just being so authentic.
Okay, so that's a great question. There's a movie called A Bronx Tale. And it used to be like one of my go-to movies, and I used to talk to a girl, like, we gotta watch A Bronx Tale together so I can see if you can do the little test. But the thing, and one of the main principles in The Bronx Tale, Robert De Niro's first movie that he directed, by the way, it's a great movie. He talked about how nobody cares. That was like the main point. Like, when you die, nobody cares. When you hear, nobody cares. But that's what Sonny was talking about when he was raising Closure Road. And that's why I feel like that if you're as perfect as you want to be, or appear to be, nobody's perfect, but if you appear to be perfect, nobody really cares. If you're the bad person, nobody really. At the end of the day, just be yourself, because the cleanest person who appears to be perfect, everybody ain't gonna like you. You know, you just gotta be yourself. I'm a huge proponent of being myself. I know that I can get. If I didn't post no memes or rappers or women or nothing, and just posted me drilling and doing security for the minister or teaching at the mosque, I would get so many likes. That's fake likes. That's not me. I'm not like that every day. I mean, yes, I can teach. Yes, I can hold pose. Cool. But I like music. I like movies. Every day I'm watching. I watch. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is me, and you just gotta accept that, bro. I don't ever try to fit in because it's fake. I don't want no fake likes. If I post a picture, I got pictures with the minister that people never seen or something like that. And if I know if I post this and be like the Messiah or something, everybody be like, oh, y'all ain't liking me. Y'all like the minister. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's me. I got pictures of celebrities I could post. People will be, that's fake, bro. Not saying I don't post any of it, but it's like, that ain't real, bro. If you don't like my real opinions and you don't like my real whatever, bye, move around. Just be yourself. That's my.
I think that's a great philosophy to have, and I also think that you inspire people to be more authentic and to be more outspoken or post what they really feel or just express what they really feel too. So thank you for that.
Excellent. Can I say something? I want to also say about superhero stuff. I remember when I used to be people I grew up with who never talked about superhero stuff. I mean, they used to be like, oh, I don't like no superhero, no Marvel, and no comic books, and now I get it. Now look at them same people. They're like, oh, we're going to Comic Con, and I'm like, y'all remember y'all wouldn't even admit that y'all like the Dark Knight, like, because it's like you don't gotta be. If you really not like that, then I get it. But a lot of people secretly like stuff that they can't say in public. It's like, what you doing? Like, I don't know how to live like that.
Right.
I don't know how to live like that. Like, Spider-Man is an amazing movie. Go see it.
Awesome. Okay, speaking of creativity and Marvel and superheroes, what was the first play that you acted in?
Sister Margaret Mothby's play from Chicago, who is a great creative and a great person. It was The Wiz, and she was on the all-girl, that's what I'm saying, MUI. So all the girl version of The Wiz, and we was outside being musty, all the boys playing basketball and football, and I'm seeing all these girls, you know what I'm saying? They pretty, they going into the MUI gym. I'm like, what y'all doing? They're like, we acting. We and Margaret got a play called The Wiz. I'm like, I know The Wiz. I mean, I'm saying, I like The Wizard of Oz and The Wiz. So Margaret said they couldn't mix the boys, the brothers and the sisters. I said, here we go. Here we go. So I said, Margaret, please. So I pleaded with her to let me let me be in the play. I said, I can act. I know the movie. I know it, but like, I got it, whatever. So she talked to whoever she had to talk to, and they let me be the Wiz. So I played Richard Pryor's part in The Wiz, and that was my first time. And it was an all-girl play, but I got to be The Wiz, and I thank Margaret for putting me in that because that showed me that I could, handle the stage, and it got me used to fighting the power, because I was like, man, ain't gonna be no all-girl plays. Now the dudes can act too. What y'all mean? You know what I'm saying?
That was so brave of you to be an all-girl play at MUI, and whereas brothers and sisters separate and everything's super, heightened masculinity. And
I definitely got picked on for that. It was definitely good. It was definitely some gay ass nigga doing the plays. Should be out here doing karate with us. And I'm like, to me, that's what I'm saying. All the dudes outside, like, how could you be in there singing? But I'm like, y'all out here with dudes. Like, I'm here with all the girls.
It's just a smooth.
I mean, it's just smooth move. Smooth move. You know what I'm saying? To me, it's just a smart move. Like, nah, the girls in here. Why y'all out here for? I don't know.
Okay, so staying on the lines of acting and your creative spirit, what inspired you to start writing and directing, and what keeps you inspired?
Like Drew said, the MUI. Like, I'm basically like reliving the things I wanted to do in high school and middle school. I always wanted to act. Mm-hmm. So if it wasn't afforded to me to do that, I just do it now. So it's like I wanted to be cool characters. I wanted to be superheroes. So now you just act like it didn't matter, So it's basically Michael Jackson. That's a Michael Jackson thing. Like, never growing up, I always want to create. I don't want to. I never want to get to a point where I don't do plays no more, or I don't do movies or TV shows. If I'm not acting, somebody come check on me. Like, what's wrong with Josh?
And I appreciate you for that, because it's not like you're just doing these projects by yourself. You're always getting other youth involved, and you don't discriminate. You have your mother in the play, and people, mom's age in the play, and you've, I think, boosted a lot of people's self-esteem, and also brought arts and culture to our community and kind of highlighted it. And I appreciate you for that.
I'm trying. It's a fight. It's a fight, because it ain't. It's not the cool thing to be in theater. That's not the cool thing necessarily to the public.
Yeah. Well, I also think it's a bias, Would you agree? Because it seems like a lot of girls, you get a lot of female people come to your auditions, and not a lot of brothers. You have to. It seems like you have to go and get the ones, encourage them to do it more.
Absolutely, I've had some legit killers in my plays. People with teardrops on their face, singing my play. People who felons be in my play, and it's like they don't know. They never knew. That's what I'm saying. We did. You got to teach men, especially black men, that it's okay to perform. They ain't gonna make you no other kind of way. Like you still whatever. You still be tough and still sing. So when I've had Rashad was in my play. I don't get tougher than my brother. You know what I'm saying? And Bai and Zeke and Tavon and Jamal and these people who just they want to fight all the time, but they put that to the side sometimes to get on stage and to do West Side Story. To see them singing. Those type of it's a good thing. Beauty and the Beast. You know what I'm saying? To do plays is good because that's really acting. Girls, women, especially you got magic and y'all, it's more natural. But for men, it's more of a challenge.
Would you say it's therapeutic?
Hell yeah, because you can singing to me, rapping is fun. I think everybody raps, everybody makes mixtapes. That's good. That's not necessarily their gift, but singing, that's a challenge. I swear to God, it's a challenge.
Awesome. My next question is: most of your plays have been musicals, and it seems like you're very inspired by music in a lot of aspects of your life. What musicians inspire you?
Kanye West, Chance the Rapper, Eminem, Future, the Migos. Shout out to Ronald because I know he's a big fan of the Migos and Future. Anybody who's unique, anybody who doesn't try to fit into every who doesn't fit. Oh, Childish Gambino. He's very unique in his approach to things, and I like that. I like women, Beyonce, Rihanna, NDRE, my soul sisters. I'm not serious. I'm dancing. I'm dancing.
He's mocking me.
I'm not mocking NDRE. I love NDRE. Beautiful skin.
That's not
beautiful surprise.
That's not even the name of the song. Josh is a troll.
Beautiful
I'm
surprise.
going
surprise.
to.
I like that.
The comment section.
Andre 3000.
Okay. I love Andre 3000. Rhonda says, I really appreciate your interviews. What motivated you to start doing them? That was actually one of my questions, Rhonda, so thank you for that.
And I think, Rhonda, for you and your parents and your siblings as well, I just think people don't get enough recognition. Period. I feel like there's inspiration. I don't know. Every time I watch Vlad, I learn something new. Because Vlad does, I don't know if y'all watch Vlad, but he does the most random people. Like, he'll be like, this is Tupac's Bodyguard from 1988 or something. And I'm like, and then I watch it and I'm inspired. So I feel like we should do the same thing within the nation. We should just listen to people's story. It shouldn't just be 5 people that we know and their story, and there's only 5 people that we can look at for inspiration. There's inspiration in every city. The most random people you never know can give you the greatest story. I never knew. Like I interview people and I'm like, what? That's what happened? What? When? So I just think I look for inspiration, and I think that we deserve to have our story told. Everybody has a story, and everybody needs to have their story told.
I love that, and I appreciate that about you, because for those who have never met you or spoken with you, every conversation with Josh is like he's interviewing you. Even if he knows you, he's asking, okay, so what do you think about this, and what about this, and what about that? So it's like you're doing these off the record interviews before you had your show. You are very curious about people's lives, and you take time to talk to people who normally wouldn't be in the spotlight, or their story might not be told. So thank you for doing that. So, okay, Becoming Better says, great point, my humble brother. Sister Khadijah says, yes, because he surprised me when I saw his post. Dion says, why do you think we were discouraged as boys in the nation to not indulge in sport and play, when there's so much influence and resources that we could have attained by other means than just selling final calls and doing security?
That's a great question, Dion. To answer the question, I just think nobody cared enough to really focus on us. That's the bottom line. I just feel like everybody's focusing on selling papers. I think I interviewed brother James Najee, 89 years old. He was talking about how Malcolm X and all of that, they was fighting over, arguing over college and which should the black man go to college. And I'm like, we having the same fight now with sport and play. That's what I'm saying. Like, Deion, like, by the way, Deion played, he was better than me at basketball. I was better at football, but he was better at basketball. He could, if Deion would have went to Hillcrest but played basketball when he was younger, full ride scholarship. Full ride scholarship for me. Full ride scholarship for Tall Anthony, Ramonius son, and so many people. We all played sport. We all could. That's a way out. It's a way for us to get, a free ride and to bring notoriety to the nation. But nah, don't take away. Sports is key, bro. That like. And to answer your question, I just think I just think they weren't focused on us because there's no way that you couldn't. Jamie, brother Aziz's son, swole dude. There ain't no way he couldn't have went to the university or somewhere and played football. So I mean, I'm saying like, nah, we all could have. But when that's not your focus, then you make us, you limit us. Not just sports, but academics. For young black men, the women who went to MUI, so many girls went to college. So many of the brothers didn't go to school. You know what I'm saying? That's not an accident. That's not the white man. That's just the focus that we have on it. And the parents, they got to just put, hell nah.
So what's something you think that parents can do so that the next generation can be further and not make the same mistakes that previous generations may have made?
Education. Education is key. School, man, that's important. We wanna take it to the next level. Sister Aisha from Chicago, Rhonda's sister-in-law, always see her children on Facebook, and I'm like, man, both of her parents went to MUI, but like her children, college over here, another college over here, sport, and I'm like, man, damn, like that's how it's supposed to be. It's like it's a surprise for us, but to my friends in the neighborhood, ain't no surprise. Everybody go to school. Right. Everybody, like I'm saying, we got to make it. We got to understand that until this world falls, we in here, we gonna have to survive in this world. We gonna have to thrive. We can't be spooky until we destroy it. Until America, if America ain't here no more, then all right, we'll deal with that. But right now, it's gonna be some college going on.
Thank you everybody for watching, and thank you for your questions, and thank you for your comments. Is that what you?
That's what I said.
Becoming Better said, LOL, too young for Rakim. Rhonda says, love it. Thank you. Brother Ronald says, every question. So, Ronald, let me ask you this. LOL. Mm-hmm. Dion says, amen. Shout out to everybody again for watching. And Brother Henry, Dr. Carter, says, education and entrepreneurship.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I have more questions. So if anybody has questions or comments, please feel free to post them in the comment section.
Can I say
commercial
something? Commercial. Oh, also one thing, our sponsors, Photo Posse Studio from Brother Earl in Philadelphia, Brother David Ali in Chicago. Good looking out, bro. Thank you for sponsoring this podcast. My sister's book, ABC I Love Me. My brother, Politically Oppressed, and Street Premiere, if y'all need video editing. And my second children's book, Cleopatra. Dr. Carter, is the reason that I am in college today. I will always love you, Brother Henry. Thank you, sir, for assisting me and so many, black men and men of color, as you say, we're going back to college. That's necessary.
Yes, thank you, Brother Henry, for that. Dr.
Carter.
So on the lines of these commercials and Joshua promoting, I just want to say that Josh is very awkward and he doesn't like to self-promote, and because he's humble. But I will say it. Off the record costs money to keep on. So if you tune into these interviews, no amount is too big or too small to donate. So that Brother Josh can keep these interviews coming and keep top 5 coming. So, just support. And what's your
J Imagination. J Imagination. I mean, it's not about.
Well, it is because let's get these sponsorships. So
J Imagination. I thank everybody for their sponsorship.
Can you spell that?
J Imagination.
So J Imagination. That's for Cash App. And
no father, no excuse.
Okay.
PayPal.
What can you say it again clearly? More loudly, please.
PayPal. Just they can order the book or PayPal. You PayPal me, no father, no excuse. /17.
I actually have a question. Speaking of your book, did you always have the desire to be an author or to write?
Not at all.
What inspired you to write your first book, No Father, No Excuse, and then we'll get the book picture.
My first book. I wanted to do a movie. Man, didn't have a budget for it, so I was like, I'm gonna do it. Turn it into a play. And then I was like, I don't want to do a play all about father-son pain or father-daughter pain. So I was like, I'll just write it down. Like some therapy.
Where can people get this book?
You can get it on PayPal. I mean, I'll deliver it to you on PayPal, and you can PayPal it, but I'll deliver it.
What's your PayPal?
What do you mean,
what is your PayPal?
PayPal.me. No father, no excuse /17. But my first book was very therapeutic. And it helped me, resolve some things. And unless I wouldn't be able to talk about MUI, you know what I'm saying? A lot of MUI pain in that. So it's all good.
Okay. And what inspired you to write Cleopatra with the K, the children's book?
Okay. Oh man, that was my niece, Asada. When Shai had his daughter, I know what it's like to grow up being dark skinned. I know what it's like to not always have everybody see the beauty in dark skin. So I wanted to show her that, hey, you got somebody who look like you on screen. And now, my nephew, he can grow up seeing what do you call it? He can grow up seeing the Black Panther. He can grow up seeing what else you got besides Black Panther? All the superheroes, Falcon, all those, all kind of black people on the screen. But when I was growing up, oh hell no! It wasn't the black superheroes was L's in the black video game. Nobody wanted to be the black character in the video game.
Just let the sun man pain go. Okay?
It's a wrap, bro. I don't want to see that. I don't want to be Jax. I don't want to be nobody on Mortal Kombat. Jax is whack. The dude off Killer Instinct Street. All the black characters is whack. So I wanted to have my niece grow up and see somebody who looked like her.
Okay. I'm coming to the questions in the comments in a second, but I do see brother Dr. Carter's comment. Repeat PayPal account slowly, please.
Yes, sir, Dr. Carter. It is PayPal.me. No father, no excuse /17.
Is that bio? Is that in your bio?
Mm-hmm.
It's also in his bio on Facebook. Josh is uncomfortable with marketing himself and doing all that because it's not about that. I'm just humble, but these things cost, and I benefit greatly from this, and I'm your sister, so I put my cash up for, to support and do a sponsorship. You have very wealthy people in the comments, they can keep the party going so we can get this wealth of knowledge. Okay, moving on. So we talked about you being an author and writing, and you mentioned that Asada, your niece, our niece, is the motivation behind Cleopatra, the book. You are an awesome uncle. People, if they follow you on social media, they see, you're always posting your nieces and your nephews, and you're super active, very playful. You're definitely a fun uncle. My son, Miles, who is 4 now, just runs to you, and he loves play fight and all of that with you. How has being an uncle impacted your life?
It is.
Don't give a generic.
No, it is the most. Miles being born, first. It was the most life-changing thing that I had thus far. Because you go through pregnancy, and some people think it's normal. I've been around a lot of women with children, but never walked with them through the whole pregnancy and all of that. It's just a beautiful thing. It's kind of weird too, to see a baby come out of nowhere and then they big and then whatever. But
they just come out of nowhere.
I mean, it seemed like he was in your stomach the other day. So it's like that's amazing to be an uncle and to see Asada, to a girl. Somebody you gotta protect. I gotta protect mine, but he's a superhero. You already know what it is. You know how to fight. You know how to be strong. But the girls, and then he was pregnant. It's just it's life changing. It shows you the beauty of life, and it makes me respect men, women more. Let me say that first. Y'all 75% of work, second level. We already know that y'all women are men, but the men who take care of these children and their children's life and fighting and all, it's just a beautiful thing. And it also shows me that I'm not ready. It shows me
it always comes back to that.
It does. It shows. I'm like, I'm not ready for it. Hell no.
Okay, but let's stay on that point. I think that being an uncle, just watching you, it has made me see a softer side of Joshua. He's singing, and they can do anything.
Absolutely.
And it's like, just seeing a very mushy side of you. You calling my phone. I'm thinking you want to talk to me, and you're calling for your nephew, and asking when he's gonna come see you and stuff. And I think that is just so cute. And when I was expecting, when I was pregnant with my baby, he tried to exile me from doing normal things. My son was born in May, and Joshua's birthday is in September, and he had a birthday dinner, and he tried to tell me that I could not attend because he didn't want me to give birth at his birthday dinner. I'm like, Joshua, just so weird.
I'm not used to it.
Yeah, but you're getting used to it now. And he told me he had never held a newborn baby before. So what was that like?
Man, it's just beautiful. It's weird, but it's beautiful at the same time. It's like life is but once again, this all goes back to why I am the way I am, and man, before you know it, my nephew and niece gonna be up, and I'm like, I want them to know that I lived the life that I wanted to live. Right. Life is short. I'm telling you, it's too short for me not to chase dreams, for y'all not to chase y'all dreams, and go after it, because it's all about hell nah.
Well, this is a perfect time for me to ask Mommy's question. She told me this morning. She asked me to ask you, when are you going to give her some grandbabies?
In the future.
In the future, that would be like the near future, or like
I don't know. Whenever I fall in love, then I'm with it. But I it's the hardest thing. My friends who have children, it's man, hell no. It's just.
Well, how you go from it's so beautiful?
It's beautiful,
but
hell no.
Like what?
It's beautiful. I mean, yeah, no, it's not. No.
You'll be an excellent father when you decide to take that walk.
I see so many people posting memes complaining about children every day. No. No. They just doodling on the bed.
Joshua, who posted that?
I don't know.
Who said you just making up stuff? You just making up stuff.
Kids do. That's all I know.
Joshua,
they do.
Okay, we're not going there. We're going to switch gears a little bit. And before I get to my question, I'm going to go to the comment and the question. Okay, so Dion says, I want to donate batteries for the smoke detector.
He won't let it go.
Naima says, yes, sponsorships are so necessary. Sister Minerva says, loving this. You think out of the box, much like my son Alfonso Muhammad, who was the first person to put a paper in a machine where you put money in and get your final call. He sold paper fast. All praise to God.
That's excellent.
Dr. Carter, we read those. Brother Ronald, who hates women.
He loves women.
I'm just joking. Brother Ronald says, let's flip the script. You ask the elders on your show what advice they have for the youth. Well, what advice do you have for the elders when dealing with the youth?
That's a great question, Ronald. Most of the time, I don't really talk to people who are older than me. I just get advice. I don't give them advice because most of the time they ain't gonna listen to it anyway. Because who am I to ask? Give them advice on something. But if they ask me, I would say, just be patient with your children, bro. My mother has 4 children, and I guarantee none of us took the route that she thought we was going to take or chose the decision. For my dad, for sure, he wanted me to be probably a business, somebody who's like opens businesses, Rashad business. My sisters, he probably wanted 4 business women. He probably would have 4 children. He probably would have 4 of us, each of us to own, to run a restaurant, a cleaners, or something like that. And that's just not our passion, So just be patient with it. Let people. I heard the minister once say, he said, the mother don't make the child, the father don't make the child, God make the child. So, just be patient with your children because you can't make them be exactly how you want them to be, man. And I don't mean nothing wrong with us. I see so many parents that come to me and be like, my child is this and that. And I be like, he's regular. Like, just because he's not, with a partner's hair with glasses, imitating the minister playing the violin, don't mean he is savage or he going to hell or something. we all got to have our own path, bro, and don't try to make us be. We express ourselves in a unique way. Like it ain't. We all not made to be a certain kind of way. That's what I'm saying.
Awesome. Okay, I think we have more comments. Dion says you're more ready than you realize. And Orlando Gardner says fatherhood will help you grow. I agree. Fatherhood will help you grow.
They said the same thing about marriage. I'm like, my God. Like,
and Rhonda says definitely making stuff up.
Rhonda making a post too. She's going to make a post. It's hard out here. Oh God.
Just shut up. You know Rhonda does not. She's just lying.
Yeah, she does a good. I admire her family. She always posts on her daughter and stuff like that.
Awesome. Yes, I admire Rhonda as well. So I have another question. What projects do you have going on now, and what can we expect from you in the future?
Man, well, we're working on a TV show, first sitcom that I've heard of, especially people from the nation. It's not a nation sitcom, but people from the nation just doing their own sitcom. It's within 2 months, y'all see upon the first episode. I'm excited. I'm working on a TV show, and it's a challenge. We writing. We got casting coming up within like the next 2 weeks, and to go from the stage to doing a TV show, I'm excited. I want people to tune in to our TV. It's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be funny. I'm writing it, so I hope y'all laugh at the jokes. So that's my next project is a TV show. I'm working on it, and I graduate next year, undergrad, and then look forward to going to get my master's degree. So I'm just focused. I'm being in nerd mode right now, so whatever.
What are you studying in college? You talk about school often on your show, but you never share what you study.
History and history education. So I'm going to be somebody's history teacher at school. Picture that, Mr. Muhammad.
It's not so far fetched.
It is far fetched for the people who know me. You know what I'm saying? They like that Josh ain't no teacher. You know what I'm saying?
But just like we were talking about earlier, so you can't put you in a box. Like you never know what to expect. Like if you were majoring in chemistry, whatever you were majoring, it could be a surprise because you are Joshua, you just do the unexpected at all times.
I never thought I would be no history teacher. I'll tell you that.
What are you most looking forward to about being a history
teacher? Trying to inspire people to go after their dreams, and hopefully they'll see my shows or they'll see me acting, doing something in Disney World, some form of acting. I don't know if I'm gonna be Darth Vader. I'm doing something in Disney. Y'all just stay tuned. Just know that it's coming, bro.
Awesome.
Some kind of music. Y'all gonna see me real soon. Y'all be like, look at Josh. He said he was gonna do it, and he did it. So I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, so we're winding down now, and in true off the record fashion, I'm gonna channel my inner Josh and ask, what do you want your legacy to be?
Somebody who just was nice to people, and accepted people for who they are. I don't try to change people. I did when I was younger. I used to try to make all my friends like the same rappers I like, sports people I like, the same. And then I'm just like, man, it don't matter what y'all like. I don't really care. As long as I like you, that's all that matters, bro. So I want to be somebody who accepted everybody for their weirdness, because I want people to accept me for my weirdness, and know that, that I was just a nice person. I just want to be nice to people.
Awesome. Okay, last question from me, then I'll go to the comments and see if there are any more questions. What's the biggest misconception people have about you?
Is that that's a good question. I don't know.
Well, you gotta answer.
I know. I'm thinking about. I'm like, I don't know. People probably think I'm then I'm more serious than I am. Yeah. I think that because social media to me is my it's just amazing how people can. I post a meme and they be like, "Oh, Josh makes jokes." I'm like, I've been joking my whole life, but people, I wouldn't say, you know what I'm saying? But it's like when people they only see you drilling a whole post, that's bad, bro. Because then they seem to be regular and they gonna think like, "What? He funny? He like music? He like women? And he like whatever." Social media shows that I think misconception is that I'm always frowning and that I'm always gonna fight, even though that's a part of it, but. You gotta grow past fighting and being serious all the time. That ain't life's too short to be fighting every day. Hell no.
Okay, what is something that you want people, something that you think a lot of people don't know about you, but you think that they should know about you? Besides that you have good sense of humor.
That I care, that I sincerely care about, that I can care about people, man, and families, and that I want us all to win. I want everybody to win. I want us all to. I don't think it's about money. I think growing up in Naperville showed me that that's a suburb of Chicago, but it ain't about money. My friends from Naperville are my friends for life, just like my friends from the city or other places are my friends for life as well. But I don't care how much money my friends make. I don't care how much money my family makes. I don't care about that. It's not about that. It's about being a good person. And yeah, I mean, we live in a capitalist society, so money, matters to a certain extent. You got to take care of yourself and stuff. But I don't care about that. It's rich people who are assholes, and people who are middle class or lower than middle class or whatever, who are the most nice people, genuine people I've ever met. My mentors, Dr. Carter, he's a doctor, so that he has the letters behind his name, but brother Rashad and brother Donald or brother Wazir, the people who before they got their name changed, brother Wazir, brother Khalil.
Wow, brother, you don't even know that.
No, brother Wazir, brother Khalil. I'm just saying. Before they got their name changed, brother Rashad, all of them, they was nice to me. And they was always nice to me, man. That's all I care. All I care about is people being nice to me. I don't care about how much your car don't impress me, your looks, none of that. Just be nice, bro. I like nice people, man. I don't care about money come and go, and yeah, it's about being nice, bro.
Okay, I think we have a few more comments. Dr. Carter says, not weirdness, but uniqueness.
Uniqueness.
So Khadijah says, I definitely thought you were super serious just from seeing you drill. I had no idea you laughed. So,
I've never met Sister Khadijah, but I've seen
Joshua.
her. I've never met her. I've never met her yet, but thank you, Sister Khadijah. I thought you were serious from the drill tape that I saw. You drilling as well. May Allah bless you and your drill team to please get some better moves and come back next year. Come back stronger with a better, more creative.
Stop trolling.
I'm just saying, the Sisters drill team was looking struggling. It was real well. I root for you, though. I root for you next year, though.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you for your questions. I would just like to say thank you for giving me the honor of interviewing you.
Thank you for interviewing me.
I didn't initially want to do it, and Josh was like, just do it. I wanted someone else to do it. I was like, Josh, you should get somebody to interview you. And he's like, okay, you can do it. I'm like, okay, so I'll do it. So thank you for having this conversation and answering some of my questions and questions from the audience. I would like to publicly say that I admire you, your intelligence, your unapologetic boldness, just, like I said earlier, you are who you are on the screen, off the screen. I know that I can always count on you. And I just love you and don't change. And I know you won't, but just continue to keep up the great work. I'm very proud of you.
I love you more. I thank everybody for watching. I got some good interviews coming up, but this TV show is going to be the focus for the next probably month or so. Next 2 months, I'm telling you, I really want y'all to sit. I think y'all gonna be amazed at the sitcom and how it comes together. It's gonna be good.
I look forward to all your projects that you are working on, those that I know about and those that are stirring around in your creative mind. And I would like to thank everybody for watching, and you can take that over.
Oh, no, that was it.
All right. Thank you all. Oh, wait, we got another comment. Naima says, all praises due to Allah. This is so pure and honest, Joshi. I love it. Brother Ronald says, great job, sister. You was being so nice to him. LOL. Love y'all, bond. Thank you, Ronald, for always tuning in and love your sense of humor. Rhonda put the heart emojis. We love you, Rhonda. Brother Khalid. Very proud of you, young man. Very Khalid. Says very proud of you, young man. Thank you, sir.
From DC. Praise be to Allah. Thank you, sir.
So much. All right. Thank you all for watching.
Thank y'all. Boom.